First of all, I'd have to say that Mill Hill gives me a great platform. It gives me a sense of belonging. It gives me a sense of being part of something much, much bigger than myself. I would not be here in Borneo, in Sarawak, if not for Mill Hill, because this is a Mill Hill mission that goes back over 100 years. And many Mill Hill missionaries have come and worked here in Borneo before I came myself. The structures that we see around us, the churches, the parish houses, the communities, these have all been the labours, or the fruits rather, of the labours of many Mill Hill missionaries who came here before me. Even the local clergy, the local bishop, to some extent they're all here because of the work Mill Hill missionaries have done in Sarawak and also in Sabah long before I came. And they have done a terrific job of spreading the gospel and sharing the good news of Jesus. So Mill Hill means a lot to me. I know I'm standing on the shoulders of many wonderful missionary priests who have gone before me. I have to honestly say also that, yeah, Mill Hill is like a family. Yeah? We're a brotherhood, a little bit sisterhood as well these days, but mostly a brotherhood of like-minded individuals. We share the same love, the love of the gospel. We believe as a group, as a family, that the gospel is, well, good news for all people. And that also gives you a great sense of uplift, gives you a great sense of partaking in something. It gives you a great sense of well-being. That's probably the best way to see it. When working with one another and working with one another well, cooperating with one another, discussing, even sometimes arguing with one another, we're actually still on the same page. We're all still trying to do the same thing. And that gives you a great sense of, yeah, fortitude. You don't lose heart quite so easily when you've got others around you who are working with you and working with you on the very, very same thing that you're working yourself. Mill Hill is a very diverse family. It's all kinds of different approaches from all the different individual Mill Hill missionaries that are here just now and have been in the past. And that's okay too. I find that terribly enriching. Yeah? I love to see the different approaches. I know some of the approaches would not be my approach. I know some of the techniques would not be my techniques. But just to see people working, doing the same thing you're doing, working for the gospel, that is a tremendous sense of encouragement. You don't lose courage so quickly and so easily. What I also like about Mill Hill is, although we are a family, and although we are a brotherhood, stroke sisterhood, we don't crowd one another. We're not religious in that sense, we're secular. So it allows every individual to be an individual. As I said, many individuals have a different approach to things from me. We don't live in one another's pockets. We allow one another to express ourselves, to find our own feet, and to find our own way of doing things. Even our own finances. Should we be looking for money for different projects or for different reasons in our parishes and situations? That I do like about Mill Hill very, very much. It gives you that freedom to be yourself. So I'd have to say Mill Hill has been tremendous. It's a tremendous organisation. I'm sure there's many other missionary societies similar to Mill Hill, but the one I know is Mill Hill. Mill Hill has been terrific, and continues to be. It's a changing society. When I first became a student and first ordained by and with Mill Hill, it was mostly European. Going out from Europe to Africa, to Asia, to South America. Now it's a multi-continental society. We have many members from Africa, we have many members from Asia, and now the way things are moving is no longer just moving out from Europe, but it's a great crisscrossing of missionaries from all over the place. From Africa going to Asia, from Asia going to Africa, coming to Europe, from Europe going out. So it's a great, cultural sharing that's going on just now. And I find that very, very good too. I've been very heartened by my colleagues from Africa and from Asia, by and large. And I'd have to say it's been a good thing. I think mission has changed tremendously since the early days. The classical era of mission, whereby you could say it was European missionaries going out to far-flung countries in Africa, far-flung countries in Asia, kind of bringing the gospel message as we understood it in those days from a European context to those. I think that missionary, if you like, model is a thing of the past. I don't believe that happens now anymore. As I've already said, there is now a great cultural sharing even within our own society. And I think mission now too is a much more sharing ministry than it has been in the past. So it's no longer coming from one particular area reaching out to others. It's coming from everywhere to everywhere. So it's from Africa to Asia, Asia to Europe, Europe to South America, South America to North America, and it continues like that. That's one big difference, I would say, from the past till now. In the past, even here in Borneo, it was very much a case of Mill Hill missionaries coming from Europe to work here in the jungles of Borneo. Brave men, taking on the hardships of that time, moving up the rivers to some of the more remote longhouses, going to peoples who maybe had never seen a white man, in those days, and working, from their background and doing what they could do coming from Europe in those days. They found a way to evangelize. They found a way to preach the gospel that has been very effective. Now, today, because of their labours, because of their work, there is a vibrant, thriving church here in Sarawak. It's no longer a case of people who have never heard the message of Jesus. Everywhere you go here in Sarawak, from the remotest longhouses to the biggest of the cities, the gospel message is very much in evidence. There are Christian churches all over the place. There are Christian symbols in people's homes. You'll find crosses evident in almost any place you go to here in Sarawak nowadays. The gospel has taken root here. There is a vibrant Christian community. There is a vibrant institutional church with its own local native priests, its own local native bishops, and they are doing a great job. If I see them, they're full of energy. Of course, they have no linguistic problems. They speak the languages of the local people, and they are as involved as they can be with people. From a Mill Hill missionary's point of view, I feel our mission here in Sarawak is to assist that local church. I feel they still do need some assistance. Just in the number of priests that they have, for example, they do need a few extra priests just to help them cope with the demands that the Christian population places upon them. I think also from a missionary point of view, Sarawak still offers some very challenging areas. We're in one now, physically challenging, whereby you're having to go to some, again, the remotest villages in the country. And I think Mill Hill in particular has got a great opportunity in these places to take on the jungle stroke forest apostolate, moving up the rivers, going to the villages where people maybe have not seen a priest for ages and ages and ages, going into those kampong, finding out where people are at, even if they're already Christian but no longer Catholic, going in, just talking with them, finding out where they're at, finding out what's the state of the faith, finding out if there's anything you can contribute to that kampong's faith, to the village people who live there. I think there is tremendous opportunity here in Sarawak for what you might call, what the locals would call the Ulu apostolate, so the upriver apostolate, going into the jungle, going to the remotest places. The cities are well served. There are many good priests working in the cities here, even the larger towns. But the remoter places, those are not so well served. And I think Mill Hill has a great opportunity here in Borneo still, certainly the Diocese of Miri, to get involved in those areas. And it involves dialogue, of course. Revelation is everywhere, so it's discovering how people have understood God's revelation so far, sharing what we believe is also integral to that revelation, the message of Jesus, and seeing how we go from there. I think there's a tremendous scope for mission work here in Sarawak still, particularly in the Ulu areas. That's not to rule out people who, like, an older priest working in the cities. Yeah, why not? If he still has gifts and talents to offer, he can also indeed play. We know we have one colleague just now working in Neri. That's fine. I think the Bishop is very, very happy to have him there, and that's also good. But the younger fellows, yeah, I would say these are the kind of areas we need to be working.